What's up, YouTube? Coming at you today with an exciting knife overview. This is the Attleboro knife, and there are no videos at this time in mid-December 2013 on this knife, and I'm very excited to be the first to bring it to you. This is a very bold design knife with a lot of really exciting features. And since there are no videos, I hope you'll bear with me here and listen to the very interesting story and history behind both this new company and their knife. The story of this knife really starts with a 5-year-old boy losing his father in Vietnam in 1966. November 1966, William Hunt, Ken Hunt's father, was serving in Vietnam, and he was on a chopper coming back from R&R, and he was on his way to his assignment when they had a medevac called in. So his chopper went to pick someone up. The chopper was now overloaded, and William Hunt volunteered to get out of the chopper and fight. It was during Operation Attleboro, and he got out and was fighting alongside some Chinese mercenaries called the Nung, N-U-N-G, and he was there with 2 other Americans and several of these Chinese mercenaries, and when they were overrun, they were left for dead. Several of them were left for dead, and Hunt was injured severely, but yet continued to provide medical care to those with him, and they were slowly trying to escape, and Hunt was injured so bad he said, you know what, you guys have to leave me behind. you have to let me go. And one of the Chinese Nung soldiers actually stayed with him until he passed away of his injuries. But he was declared missing in action, and his body was never recovered. Ken, his son, followed in his father's footsteps and joined the Army, and was qualified Special Forces twice. And when he got a little older and had a little bit more rank, he set up a trip to Vietnam to try to find his father's spot where he was battling and find his father's remains if possible. And that was 93, I believe. And in 93, Ken made it to within 7 kilometers of where his father was last seen, and was ran off by someone with a pistol, a farmer. And then his guide on that trip was not willing to take him back to that area. So Ken scheduled another trip in 1999 and was able to find that spot and get back to it. And it had been declared that it was underwater due to a dam project, but he was able to actually verify that it was not. And he toasted his father. He had a flask with his father's favorite liquor in it. He made peace with the fact that his father was MIA and that he might not ever get full closure there, and I think he did get some closure there with that. So enter the knife. Ken wanted to start a company and make a knife to honor his father and all of those that fought during Operation Attleboro. Ken was born and raised in Idaho, and a lot of us knife nuts know a very famous knife company in Idaho. And there's a couple guys that recently left that company, Chris Reeves, and they've started their own company called Millet Knives. And the fellow that runs Millet Knives, and this knife is certainly as much about the people as it is the knife, and I hope you'll bear with me here. The fellow that runs Millet was Chris Reeves' Knives quality control guy for a long time, and I think that speaks volumes. And some of the stuff Millet is showing over there on their Facebook is really exciting. They're making a bally song, and they're going to be doing a lot of exciting stuff. But so Ken Hunt, pardon me, the owner of the company, got with his buddy Casey, who is his partner in the company, and they started Boots and Berets, which is what the B&B is there for on the knife that you see there. Boots and Berets. Ken being former Special Forces. I think Casey was as well, but I'm not for sure on that. I apologize. But they got with Millet. Casey had a relationship with Millet, and they knew Millet was going to start making knives for themselves, so they went to Millet and got with them and did a joint collaboration here, bringing you the Attleboro. So they wanted a fixed blade knife. They're all, like I said, former Special Forces guys, and they wanted to go with mainly a tactical design. But they've done a lot of bold things here. This bar stock is .150, so it's not a sharpened pry bar, which is the common theme that's running right now with a lot of knives. Here's my Freeman Outdoor Gear knife that I reviewed recently. Stout little knife, and you can see it's nearly twice as thick. Now with the Attleboro, you've got a knife with a heck of a lot more cutting edge. Got them lined up butt to butt here. Let's line them up edge to edge. And this Attleboro weighs less than this Freeman knife. It's also got a wider, more comfortable grip. So nothing bad, not trashing the Freeman there, just pointing out that they've gone with that thinner bar stock, a very lean, aggressive hollow grind, and skeletonized full tang construction. So the knife is very fast and light. Very comfy in hand with the contoured machining on the grips. These are micarta grips. The knife is S35 VN steel. The micarta is listed as black, but as you can see, it's sort of a camo. At least definitely 2 or 3 colors going on in there. You've got the contouring, which is done, and then you've also got some, hard to see here with the camouflage grips, but some relief cuts in there, some Gimping style cuts, and here as well. And then you've got Gimping along the ridge here. Love that harpoon sort of style blade shape. It is a spear point. The swedge here comes to almost, it's not sharp, but you could sharpen it with 1 or 2 swipes. Leads into a chamfer here along there, and then you have the Gimping. The Gimping is pretty aggressive. It's got really good traction on it. It does stop your thumb. All grips are very comfortable on the knife. It's got on the back here a beveled grind to bring this to a point so that you have a glass breaker, as well as you can score polycarbonate safety windows and then break through those as well. The lanyard hole is smartly placed so that you can still use the skull crusher glass breaker. And then another pretty bold thing they've done is these handle scales are attached. I noticed these strange bolts that I've never seen a bit for that style, and I emailed them about it, and Ken told me that they did want a permanent scale. And then my worry was going to be, well, you can't clean under there if you were to gut an animal, or get the knife with some sort of chemical or gasoline that you didn't want on there. It'd be hard to clean under those scales. Well, they've used I think it's VXH 3M tape, and if it's not VXH, I'll put a link below. But it's a incredibly strong 3M tape that they've used under there, and I think a lot of knife makers ought to take note. It might be something to try versus epoxy. The 3M tape is not going to let any moisture get underneath there. It's going to hold the scales on permanently. Nothing's getting under there. They show on some of the videos, if you just look at the tape videos, they connect trains with them and pull train cars with that tape. So it's pretty bold move there, and I think a smart one. The guys that formerly worked at Chris Reeves over at Millet clearly know what they're doing. The machining is incredible. If you look at the Gimping and the swedge and the chamfer there, the rounding of the exposed spine all the way around, the machining on the handle scales, just incredible. They list the hollow grind as the latest large hollow grind technology, and those of you that have followed Chris Reeves Sabenzas over the years know what that means. And that means that you've got a very lean hollow grind behind the edge, and that it stays fairly lean right up into this area, and then it starts getting thicker up near the shoulder of the grind. But what that gives you is a very lean cutting performance, a very good slicing cutting performance if you were cutting thick rope, and a long sharpening life. You're not going to get super thick right behind the edge, have a really wide bevel. One thing I should have shown right in the beginning is the factory edge on this knife is absolutely one of the best I've ever had from the factory. Yeah. Phone book paper, I mean slow phone book paper, push cutting sharp. Like not a single pitch in the edge. Just one of the best factory edges I've ever seen, and on a large fixed blade, very uncommon. Very uncommon. I'm going to use this knife on video, guys. I'm going to use it more, and I haven't used it a lot yet, but I'm definitely going to use this knife and give you guys some report on the edge holding and the performance and all that kind of stuff. I'll definitely use it on video as well. But I wanted to get this information video out there and just let you guys know. The sheath is outstanding. They got with, if you can make this out, Okuden, which are really well known for making a lot of the bussy sheaths. Bussy knives don't come with a sheath, and a lot of the guys use this company. They've made a really nice sheath. The edges are finished greatly. It's the thicker Kydex. I'm not sure the size is there. I've added this lanyard here. But it's got the holes for the tech lock placement, and it comes standard with a tech lock. It's the locking tech lock, which is probably the best belt attachment for a knife you can buy. It's just built like a tank. It serves its purpose very well. One of the best drainage hole designs you'll find, where the whole bottom there has a place left with like a nail or a bolt when they do the molding, so that water can get out of there and air can get in, and much better than just drilling a hole through the front. So those guys definitely know what they're doing. But here's the challenge coin that I showed you earlier. This actually comes with the knife, honoring Master Sergeant William Hunt, which he was posthumously promoted to Master Sergeant E8, and he's also up for the Medal of Honor. Being a civilian, I greatly appreciate my freedoms, and I thank very much all those that have served and that serve now. Really, really cool. Comes with this coin, also with the certificate of authenticity. Feel free to pause it. I'll get you focused here and read that. Hope I gave you a good brief there. And then on the back as well, we've got a good portion of the story. I'll get you focused there as well. Please feel free to pause that. The box comes, the knife comes, that is, in a very nice box. You got an Attleboro sticker here, sticker here, sticker here. And this one was actually holding the box closed, but you'll notice there, that's the Green Beret Foundation, proudly supporting by Attleboro Knives. Every time someone purchases an Attleboro knife, they donate a portion of that to the Green Beret Foundation. Can't beat that. So guys, this video is getting a little long. I appreciate you sticking around and taking the time to listen to me ramble. Like I said, I will be using the knife in the future. So thanks for watching. Everybody, please go check out Attleboro Knives. The link will be below. Have a good one.